Many languages and cultures have tried to create words for what cannot easily be spoken. In Germany, you find words like Sehnsucht, a deep, almost aching longing for something distant or undefined. It captures a feeling that English can only circle around. In Japan, there is Yugen, an awareness of profound, mysterious beauty in the universe, something felt more than explained. In Portugal, saudade holds a quiet sorrow mixed with love and nostalgia for something absent. In Wales, Hiraeth describes homesickness for a place that may never have truly existed. In Denmark, Hygge tries to bottle the warmth of belonging, safety, and shared presence. And in France, there is je ne sais quoi, which is literally I do not know what. It names that indefinable quality in a person, a piece of art, a moment. Something is there, something magnetic or beautiful, but it resists explanation. You feel it before you understand it. Across cultures, language stretches toward experiences that resist definition. Grief without closure, love without possession, awe without explanation, loneliness in a crowded room. It suggests something important. Even when we cannot fully articulate what we feel, we still reach for sound. We shape breath into syllables, syllables into meaning. We attempt to give form to the invisible. Perhaps that is what language has always been, not a perfect mirror of reality, but an honest attempt to hold what would otherwise slip through us unnamed. And yet, when we look deeper, something curious appears. Science, at its most precise, tells us that reality is not as solid as it seems. At the quantum level, particles are not isolated beads of matter but probabilities, relationships, fields of interaction. In quantum entanglement, two particles share a state in such a way that distance becomes irrelevant. They are not merely connected. They're described by one unified system. Consciousism suggests that consciousness is not a byproduct of matter, but fundamental. Temporal subjection theory proposes that time itself is processed subjectively, filtered through awareness. TMQC attempts to bridge structure and experience, suggesting that information, mind, and reality are interwoven rather than separate domains. From different angles, they converge on a similar intuition. Separation may be secondary. Relationship may be primary. What if those unnameable feelings are not just poetic gaps in vocabulary but glimpses of relational depth? Moments when we sense that we are participating in something larger than the isolated self? We already know that emotions synchronize. Heart rates can align. Brain waves can entrain. Groups fall into shared rhythm without planning it. Language struggles here because the experience precedes analysis. It feels like resonance. Calling it entangled emotions is metaphorical, not a literal quantum claim. But metaphors matter. If entanglement in physics reveals that systems once interacting cannot be fully described independently, perhaps human experience mirrors this principle at another scale. Once lives touch, they are never entirely separate again. Information is exchanged. Patterns shift. Memory rewrites structure. The unspoken connection between two people in a room. The sudden shared silence. The way music can make strangers breathe together. Maybe the wordless is not empty. Maybe it is crowded with connection. Science maps structure. Consciousism centers awareness. TST reframes time as subjective flow. TMQC seeks the informational scaffolding beneath experience. Different languages, different methods, but they seem to point toward one idea. Reality may be less about isolated objects moving through empty space and more about relationships unfolding within a unified field. When we cannot find the word, perhaps it is because the experience belongs to the space between us. And language, brave as it is still learning how to name the between.